I've got the link.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. We are just doing some fine tuning back here, but I figured I might as well hit the enter button so you can hear us talk if anyone's out there.
Yo, what's up, guys? How's it all going? So I'm just
we're waiting for Bob, Comic Bob, who's going to be our special guest when he gets here. He says he was going to be here, so it might be delayed.
Yep. So I'm just putting a message in. Where am I? Fucking. What am I doing? I'm getting confused. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dropping it in the old Discord.
Yeah, dropping it on the old Discord, but I've got to lean across and type, and with multiple computers and
yeah.
Oh, and these all
regular
fingers.
Command center.
Yes. Today the command center. Tomorrow the world. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, so why don't we chose, we were talking a little bit about what the next show would be, and I said, well, is there anything topical? And you came up, it's the 20th anniversary of, what's that movie? Heath Ledger movie.
Oh, A Knight's Tale, I think it was.
A Knight's Tale, which is, I think, his best movie. It's so fun. But you suggested, going through, him and the other guy, looking through their movies, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I don't know. I have never watched most of these movies. And I was
I've got to be honest with you. I did not get as much time to do my homework as I really wanted to with Bronson movies. Yep. So, but no, Heath Ledger's had some corking movies. I actually remember I can't even remember the title of it now. It was one of his first ones. It was a New Zealand or an Australian one where he plays the dead brother of somebody else, and it's weird.
Okay.
But yeah.
I just looked at it as there's Brokeback Mountain, a movie I never really intend to watch.
No, well, it got Oscars.
Yeah. But then I said, you know what? The whole point of this little show is for something fun for you and I to do and talk about the movies we really love. So why don't we talk a little bit? So we said Charles Bronson movies and that aren't Deathwish, since he has 5 of them.
Yes. And going and starting rewatching some, I went, oh no, that was a Deathwish I saw. Oh no, that was a Deathwish I saw. Oh no, that was a Deathwish I saw. Because love him or hate him, he did get kind of typecast in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, and that's why some of my movies are some of the movies that are definitely not the ones you thought would think of with Charles Bronson being that kind of guy. So he did become this kind of action man star. The other thing to really think about is the fact that he was happily married to the very lovely Jill Ireland forever. Mm-hmm. And they starred in a lot of movies together.
Oh, just a couple. Yeah, I think it was like a buy one get one free deal on the casting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was sort of interesting to see. I was watching all these movies of his this weekend, and I would think I saw 7 or 8 this weekend, and 5 of them had Jill Ireland as either a love interest or something going on there. It was oh wow!
But I guarantee I know one of your 5 picks.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure I know one of your 5 picks.
There's Steph is is watching.
Oh, is she? Oh, I haven't got the message coming through yet. Hey up.
Yep.
Oh, you got an orc and a hobbit here. Yep. Congratulations.
Regular fantasy community here. Just as long as I don't end up like Boromir.
Well, if you got Sean Bean in a film, Sean Bean has to die. It's a rule in Hollywood. If you
there's a couple movies where he didn't die. Ronin comes to mind.
I thought he died in that one.
Nope, they kick him out. They figure he's the poser.
But I thought he come back. He tried to betray them, and they kill him.
Well, I think they just sort of said, here's $5,000. Get out of here, or if we ever see you, we're going to kill you, kind of thing.
No. character assassination, at least in that one, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, and he didn't die in National Treasure.
I've never seen it, to be honest with you. Hey, Ishii in the house. What up, man?
Hey, how's it going? And then there was, what was the other movie? Like, there was this weird British spy movie I saw with him in it, where he lived.
Weird British spy movie. I mean, there was, I can't remember the name of that one. There was When Saturday Comes, which was a football movie of his. It was a British production. That did all right, UK-wise. Sorry, soccer for all you fucking foreigners. Oh, sorry, Dave. That'll be my one F-bomb for the show.
Yeah,
maybe. But no, Jupiter Ascending, he survived. Oh, that bombed hard. Lord of the Rings, he dies. One of the biggest franchises of all time.
Oh yeah.
GoldenEye, he dies. Oh, look at that! One of the biggest franchises. Hey, Bree in the house.
Hey, Bree. Yeah.
Okay. I might concede the Ronan thing. It was a character assassination instead of
it was like
actress.
It's one of those things, kind of like Charles Bronson doing some of the movies I'll be talking about with trying to step away from his role. I want to say one thing about the movies I chose not to talk about certain movies where I thought he was in, but that were not vehicles for him. So I just wanted to explore more of the interesting movies I'm picking up instead of like talking about things like Magnificent Seven.
Oh, damn. I thought you picked that one because I know you love that film.
It is one of the greatest movies ever. But I was like, no, that's more Steve McQueen and what's his name?
Yul Brynner.
Yeah, Yul Brynner are the leads in that movie. Another one I didn't choose was because I felt it was more a Henry Fonda pick, which is Battle of the Bulge.
Yep.
And was it the I'm trying to think about it. The Great Escape I also dropped because he's just one of like 100 people.
that is nobody's real movie. I mean, you might some people do argue it's a certain person with a certain scene, shall we say, is iconic.
Yeah,
but overall, yeah. And by the way, folks, we are actually supposed to be joined by Comic Book Bob.
Yeah,
he's not sitting in the back room or something. You've just not noticed, is he?
No, I'm looking down at the back room right below us, and he's not here.
Hold on. I shall have to just oh shit! If I can type properly.
Yep. Well, it's hard to do with those orc paws.
Exactly. I mean, you try getting a manicure. You try getting a manicure with these. It just doesn't work really. You got to bring an angle grinder. Nope.
So for those who don't even remember watching the first Deathwish, though, that movie is very interesting in the sense that it's like a serious Oscar, what we would consider an Oscar bait style movie today. It was very heavy on like messages and the time in the 1970s when the cops didn't seem to be able to police the streets. Charles Bronson in all the movies never finds the people who kill his wife and do stuff to his daughter. And it's just about like him going off, like he's supposed to be just this generic architect, and he goes off to visit an Old West show and on a business trip. And he sees all these tropes and comes back and starts deciding to enforce the law his own way on the streets of New York. And eventually the cop, watch the movie, but the later movies become the cartoons that we fully expect, except for 5, which is almost like Deathwish 5 is very similar to what would later happen with Bruce Willis in the Die Hard series, where they're like, you have this very interesting movie. Why don't we put Bruce Willis as John McClane in it? It wasn't a original Deathwish movie. It was kind of like, we've got this script, but we can put this big name in it to get it to pop. Right.
You get what I mean?
So you have Deathwish 2 is kind of like a remake of the second one, but does have Jill Ireland in it as the love interest, who he breaks up with at the end because he's just like, this is probably not the life for you. And 3 is when it starts to get crazy, and by 4, he's taking out people single-handedly with rocket launchers.
He is Chuck Norris, basically.
Yeah. Just like, this has just become a complete parody of itself by this time, and then 5 is like we said, it's like a more serious movie, and he's just kind of brought in. They slap the name on it. It's always interesting to see that Charles Bronson was such a good trooper through all of this. He just kept wanting to make movies, and I went through the credits. He had like 164. He comes out of TV and that. So. Do we want to maybe start talking about our movies, even though do we want to give him 5 more minutes, or
give him a couple more minutes? I have messaged him on the old Discords.
Okay.
So because he did say he was going to be here, and I cannot stand people who do not show up properly on time. You organise these things. So. Yes, folks. Sorry about that. And by the way, okay, Bree, I haven't actually seen Percy Jackson, so I cannot actually comment on that one, unfortunately.
There was 2 different Percy Jacksons, I believe, and I've seen 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, there was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and was it Stones of the? I don't know. God, who cares?
Yeah,
not seen them. Hey, Haifa!
Hey, Haifa.
Welcome, my man.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing, Geese? I haven't seen you around in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Brie. I apparently look clearer here. Yeah, I cleaned the camera up. There was some unidentified mess on there. I don't know where it came from. It was nothing to do with me. And Fluffy hasn't been in this room recently, so I don't know what happened to that. Okay, right. Screw it. Screw Bob.
Okay,
Bob. If you're catching this on the replay, you're useless, man. Only joking, Bob. Just don't be late next Saturday. Not this Saturday coming, but the Saturday after. God damn it. Yep.
And he might show up, and you'll just let him catch up.
Oh, gotcha.
So I had a number. I looked at the list very hard, and I wanted to talk about a bunch of movies, and we might even still do so. But these movies, we'll do the honorable mentions at the end. But my 5th pick is a movie I watched rather suddenly, and I didn't know this even movie exists, and it's called Cabo Blanco.
Cabo Blanco.
It's kind of, some people have compared it a little to Casablanca, but it's more just the setup than that. But it's a genuine adventure yarn where a bunch of people, there's mysterious goings on this little town off the coast of Peru. And Charles Bronson owns the local hotel and bar, which gives him the kind of called Drift's Bar. And he's an American expat living in the country, trying to keep because they don't have extradition. His friends and the government are preventing his extradition back home to the States.
That's handy.
The local guy is there's a local corrupt official. There's a British ship's research vessels off the coast, and one of their crew is killed by divers. And of course, the corrupt official holds an inquest and covers it up because he's in the pocket to the German guy it's set in 1948. So it's 3 years
just after the war.
Yeah. So he's in pocket to this German guy who's like looking. They're all looking for the wreck of this ship that went down that was carrying what was suspected to be Nazi treasure. So there's all these characters coming in. Simon McCorkindale's in it, who I like from Counter-Strike. He's there, and all these characters are coming in, desperately trying to figure out where the treasure is. And there's also this beautiful young French woman who shows up, and her passport. She's the one guy who survived the boat and knows where it went down. Was her girl? she was his girlfriend. So they're all trying to think that this guy has left the treasure with ultimately Griff. And yeah, it's a great little adventure story that you just do it. And I read something about the Wikipedia page about it, and Charles Bronson said, "Yeah, it's like one of the first movies I've had in a while, which I wasn't like blowing the people away with machine guns. It's an adventure tale. Like I get to punch people out and have a little bit of fun and just be in this kind of Rick's Cafe environment. But beyond the setup, it's not really like Casablanca at all."
No, so I'm just looking it up there. Oh, 1980. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so no, I've not caught up with this one. Okay, hold on. So just make a note. That's going on the watch list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with about a million other things I've got to catch up on.
Yep.
But no, that's interesting.
Mm.
Right. So that's your number 5 pick. Now, see, I'm worried now that mine are going to be a bit too cliche.
Yeah, well, hey.
Yeah, but
we'll get to talk about those movies too.
Yeah, but my number 5 pick is just Murphy's Law.
Mm.
You know, again, it's kind of one of his typecast roles, which let's be honest here. Typecasting is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, you get what you want from the movies. Yeah. You know what you're going to have, and that's a lot of fun. Like, we want to see our favorite characters kind of in a new, different place doing some new adventure. Yeah,
it's like Jason Statham. He gets typecast as the big, badass, kick-ass, bald guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not going to complain. You see a film with him in the starring credits, you think, okay, this is just going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, my first one was Murphy's Law from 1986, and like I say again, it's a bit cliche. He is obviously, funny enough, a cop called Murphy, and the whole thing around this movie is he's trying to find his wife's killers, but he's been chased at the same time, and the whole dynamic of I know it sounds a bit stupid, but the whole dynamic of the time limit on it before he gets captured gives it a little twist, whereas like the Deathwish, there's no real oh my god, they're closing in. It's just like, yeah, fuck you all, I'm going to do what I want when I want. So, and again, like I say, I have to apologize. Some of these I'm going from memory, which has been abused over the last 3,000 years like you would not fucking believe. Sorry, that's my one F-bomb for the show. Don't apologize. Yeah, I shall try and keep it clean. I should respect other people's channels.
I don't care. This show's never getting monetized. I don't care.
Oh God, mate, come on, get some positivity going on. You're almost at 60 subscribers. You're almost at 60 subscribers. Next thing you know, you put a 0 on the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
But yeah, it's from what I remember, it was quite tense because it wasn't just him going mental, like he said with Blanco. Like, it wasn't just going mental with a machine gun. He was doing something. Yes, you had the action aspect of it, but he was trying not to just go, oh, there's somebody, let me shoot him.
Yeah.
So that's character development for an actor, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to remember the cast, so I'm just going to have to call up the IMDb here, because, I mean, the cast nobody recognizes. This was early 80s, was it? Sorry, just have a quick look. Yeah, it was mid 80s, so none of these actors are around nowadays, really. But I don't know. I just felt it was really fun.
Right.
I mean, like I say, he does get typecast. But it's sometimes that's good. I like it.
You get 164 roles. Like, look at so many other guys who don't embrace their typecasting and never get to make any movies ever again. They just kind of fade away.
Yeah, exactly. No. I do not want to be tied down to that one character forever. Go to an audition. I go, you're playing this guy. No. That is not. I do not want to do that anymore. Next.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the day, it's a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you think I like being typecast, going around pillaging and burning and looting all the time?
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's a vocation. It keeps a cave over me head. You know.
Yep.
So yeah, but so that, I'd give that number 5, to be honest with you. So because it was, like I say, it was fun. It was fun.
Well,
so,
okay. Yeah, I was about to tell you my next one, and it is definitely not a very fun movie, but it's a great movie. It is The Evil That Men Do.
Oh, I thought you'd pick that one. For some reason, I thought you'd pick that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Evil That Men Do is Charles Bronson plays a professional killer. And he's living in semi-retirement on this island in like the South Pacific. And people come up to him and basically say, we want to hire you to kill this guy. He's basically a Dr. Mengele type. He's with South America. He's the coup came and he's killed all these people. And Bronson's reluctant to take on the job, but he gets dragged in after a friend of his is killed. And just the whole cat and mouse trying to capture this guy, and the final scene where the guy he's been trying to kill gets exactly what's coming to him. And this movie is just so good with what happens. He really embraces the role of this guy. I was tempted to put a different movie into this slot for this, but I felt that this was the stronger of the two versions. I'll talk about the one I chose otherwise later, but I really love.
I think I know the one you're on about.
Mm-hmm. Jason Statham did a remake of it.
Yes, I might possibly have that on my list.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but so yeah, my 4 is The Evil That Men Do.
That's a solid pick. That is a solid pick. See, well, I'll get to commenting on that in a second, but my 4th place pick was actually Magnificent Seven.
Okay.
Right. Yes, like we said at the start of this, it's more of an ensemble cast, but I remember watching that when I was younger. I mean, yes, I'm 3,000 years old, but for God's sake, we didn't have TV, didn't have decent TVs until like the 70s, really, 80s. So, I remember watching that, and just thinking, oh my God, this is such a good movie. And every one of the main cast is just nailing it. They are just perfect in their roles. And yeah, Bronson, again, he just nailed his role. I mean, it's not the hardest role in the world when you think about it. Seven, for those of you who don't know the story of the Magnificent Seven, for a start, where have you been? For God's sake. I mean, this is a classic. I mean, what was it? How many spin-off sequels did they do? Well, spin-offs,
like 3,
really.
They had like 3 or 4.
Yeah, was it 3? Because you had Magnificent Seven Ride Again, the Magnificent Seven do something else, and then the Magnificent Seven go to Hollywood or something.
Show.
Yes, the TV show as well.
And the remake.
Yeah, which wasn't actually too bad. Have you seen the remake?
Oh yeah, I think it was a good movie.
Yeah, no, the remake with Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Freaking. Why am I blanking on the name? Did the Hunger Games? Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh yeah.
Was in it as well. Yeah.
Mm.
No, the remake was pretty good, but no, the Magnificent Seven. Basic storyline: 7 gunslingers get hired by a small town to defend themselves from a band of banditos. And they pretty much all take the job because, as far as they're concerned, they are the best and they want to prove it.
Yeah.
Without realizing quite how bad a situation it was. And then, of course, showing true heart and heroic courage, they say, never tell me the odds. C-3PO, don't ever tell me the odds. And they proceed to kick all sorts of posterior.
Yeah. I like some of the scenes when they're hiring Charles Bronson's guys. Yul Brynner is playing the main guy, and he's recruiting them. And he shows up and says, so he finds like Charles Bronson like chopping wood for a living. And
he
Bronson's like,
retired,
no, I got paid $400 for my last job working on this piece of work. What are you paying? He's like, $50 and room and board. And he's like, or no, sorry, $20 and room and board.
Yeah, it was less. Yeah,
and he's like, finished chopping the wood. Well, that looks better than doing this.
Yeah, he's like, screw it, what the hell? Yeah. Bored now, let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm sure David had not trouble, but I'm sure some part of you really wanted to put Magnificent Seven in this list.
Yeah, I was on another guy's show talking to him about this, and he's sort of like, "Oh, well, Magnificent Seven, he's in that," and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, he's also in The Great Escape." So those two best movies. I'm like, not really.
Yeah,
his because they're more
other great movies, not great. But I say, I mean, unfortunately, like I say, I didn't get a chance to do as much research as I could,
And I mean, I think of the three movies I talked about that I didn't want to put on the list, that is the best performance by him in those three movies. Like,
right, yeah.
Like Magnificent Seven, I love that movie. I've watched all the special features on my DVD collection, and when they're talking to who starred as the bandit captain.
Oh God.
He's the guy the Mexican from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Anyways, he's like reading. He says like later, I was reading the script, and I'm like, oh, no one's like, I'm not even in the first third of the movie. But then I read the script, and I realized all they do in the first third of the movie is talk about me, how much of a badass I am, when I'm going to show up, what I'm going to do when I get there. They're all terrified of me. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. They're all like, all right. Are you gonna go for Are you gonna get? Oh, yeah. Of course we are. Let's just get a couple more guys first. It's almost like they feel their safety in numbers before they even try and recruit him. Do you know what I mean? In case he gets them upset.
Yeah, and then the actor also talked about how, because the movie was made in conjunction with the Mexican government, he ended up like with 50 guys who were playing his bandits, and suddenly they like treated him as like an actual bandit chief during the filming. They really got into the whole thing of like, it's like, I felt like anytime I could go riding off with these guys and we go start raiding villages. So yeah, right
up until the point where he realizes they've only been given blanks.
Yeah.
Aha, give us all your back. Hey, this is the part where you fall down. Hold on. Yeah. Makeup, wardrobe, what's going on? Oh, but yeah, I'm sorry. I had to get Magnificent Seven in there.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
So, yeah, and like I say, I apologize.
I think I see why Comic Book Bob might not be here.
Oh, yeah.
Something about we just got the house.
Oh. Oh, really?
Checking that.
Ooh.
No, maybe not. 1 hour open mic Monday on a Tuesday, so I think he might have forgotten and started his own show.
Oh, has he? Right, hold on. Let me go. Hold on. Let me troll him if he has. Let me troll him. Let me have a quick look. No, he's not showing us having anything. No, he's not showing us having anything on his channel. So, yeah.
Maybe not. So, who knows?
Who knows? Oh, that's a shame because I wanted to. I was not in a way because I was like, oh, if he is actually.
Oh yeah. If he has. Hey, aren't you supposed to be somewhere? Well.
Yeah, I just pop in the chat. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Hey, Duff, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I'm on the show you're supposed to be on.
So yeah, it's just like one of those things that kind of swung by too fast when I refreshed Twitter. So probably someone else bought a house. Anyways.
But no, I very, very limited knowledge of Twitter.
Yeah.
I know how to retweet something, and that's about it. I'm trying to work out how to send him a direct message. Have you sent him a direct message on Twitter?
Yeah, I sent him the link to the show. So.
Oh, you did? All right, cool. Well, in that case, there's no point in me working out how to send a message and abusing him.
Yeah.
What I might do afterwards if he doesn't show up, just because I'm an orc, just to walk him, because I'm a professional, not a poxy troll. I'm not a troll. I'm an orc.
Yep. So the next episode, next movie episode was number 3, Breakheart Pass.
Ooh.
So Breakheart Pass is a movie set shortly after the Civil War. It's taking on a train ride where they're carrying a bunch of, I believe, guns and
a cure and medical supplies.
Oh yeah, that was it. The medical supplies.
Yeah, medical supplies because of the outbreak of I can't remember what it is now.
And it's going through snowy mountains, and Charles Bronson plays this person who's a doctor supposedly, but he has his agenda, and a lot of other people he meets on the train also have their secret agendas, and it always stuck with me. Like there's all these soldiers on the back of the train being brought in with the medical supplies, and some mysterious person severs off the train the caboose where the soldiers are and sends it careening off the side of the hillside.
Sorry. If I remember correctly, Bronson was actually a prisoner.
Yes, but he's also a prisoner as a doctor because he has to save someone's life.
Yeah, but he's introduced to you as a prisoner, and you don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Do go on.
No problem. And it's just this is a movie I first watched one day on a summer day on a local cable station, and it's always kind of stuck with me. And I watched it again about 6 months ago, and it still holds up. And I thought it was a great fun, less of the just shooting people, but more of an adventure story where with this mystery involved and you trying to figure out all the different groups or with their agendas and what they're secretly planning to do. And I believe the governor's on the train and he's up to no good and everyone's up to no good. And when you
it's a who done what to whom.
Yeah, as much as you get the big gunfight at the end. So that's why I really like this movie, and I think people should take a chance. I think I saw it on the MGM Amazon Prime link. So if you guys want to go out there and legally watch that movie, that's how you do it.
Well, I don't have Amazon Prime or Netflix or any of those things myself personally. Been an orc. Freaking signal reception's a right pain in the arse. I'll tell you that. Folks. And plus, I live in a cave, a penthouse cave, but drilling through 7 foot of fucking ore to get rock to get a cable connection is just a pain in the arse. But I will get back to Breakheart Pass in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because my number 3 pick is The Mechanic.
Aha.
Which was kind of brought up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
With your number 4 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Was it your number 4 or number 5?
My number 4 pick.
Yeah, your number 4 pick, yeah.
I chose the Evil That Men Do over.
Yeah, that's it. And The Mechanic is kind of similar in that, well, most people probably know the Jason Statham remake from a few years ago. It was 2015, I think it was, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson is a retired hitman. He's done his time. He's had enough. He really doesn't want to get involved anymore. And then a young up-and-coming whippersnapper comes along and starts begging him to train him, and it evolves in part of it. It partially evolves into a weird father-son dichotomy where he's trying to teach his protege, even though he really wasn't looking for a protege. He was just quite happy in retirement. He's trying to teach his protege the ropes, but at the same time he's holding back because he's worried about commitments, and he's got all sorts of other things on his mind about his previous life, shall we say. And what I really liked about that was the new and the old, the interaction they had between the old guard and the new guy, and how he really wants to become better than the legend, and it just, I don't know, it was the same sort of role he does, but a completely different slant on it. If you get my meaning,
Yep.
He's not just going out there and kicking ass. He's trying to teach at the same time. It's and seeing how he tries to explain the world he's in and what he does in a knowledgeable way, and trying to educate at the same time as shooting somebody, getting paid for it or whatever. It's I don't know, and it was one of those ones that was like, maybe this is how the Sith Lords actually work. Look, dude, I'm not really interested, but get that lightsaber out. I'll show you a thing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is sort of like, he wants to train this kid in all the things he's doing, but he also suspects that if he trains him too much, will he betray him?
Yeah, because he, like you say, he's got that whole thing, and at the same time, in the back of his head, he's kind of like, but if he really wants to cement his place in this world, what better way would there to do that than to have my scalp on his wall, as it were?
Especially his other possible motivation.
Yes.
There's a big motivation, and there's a real reason why I would be very reluctant to train someone, given that big motivation and the knowledge between those two characters. But you'll have to watch the movie to find out what that was about.
Yeah, we try not to spoil too much.
Mm-hmm.
But they did do it. But they did end up doing a remake with Statham, which was actually fun.
Yeah, because
I mean, to my mind, they took a bit more of the emotion out of it for the remake.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as there wasn't as, you didn't get as much of a sense of bonding between the two main characters in the remake as you did in the new one. But that's because the remake, they kind of went a bit more actiony.
Yeah, and they also have the fact the ending of the remake is completely different.
Oh yeah, they completely changed the ending. But we're not going to spoil it. Trust me, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You really, really, really want to check out The Mechanic from was it 71, 72?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just call up the yes, 72. 72 it was, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing is older than half of the people's watching parents. And I'm talking about you lot on the replay as well, who, by the way, should all give a thumbs up and leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment.
Right.
Let's get this guy up to 100 subs by the end of the year. Yeah. Oh shit, I meant at the end of the month.
Okay. Well, thanks. That's great. I love being plugged because I always tend to forget. Anyways, my number 2 is a movie called Hard Times. It starred Charles Bronson and James Coburn, and it's made by Walter Hill, who's my favorite director. And it is a movie where it's set during the Depression, and Charles Bronson's kind of a drifter who kind of walks into illegal boxing. And so he starts doing street fights, and James Coburn becomes his manager. And there's all sorts of stuff that happens. Jill Ireland, once again, is in this as Charles Bronson's love interest. And the two of them just have it's just this nice, great movie set in the 30s, completely unlike most of what Charles Bronson's movies is. Has great fight scenes. I think it's probably going to be one of my favorite boxing movies of all time, having just watched it finally. It's just atmospheric, and there's these guys, there's kind of a code going on between people, and yeah, there's just like a lot of exciting adventure stuff where James Coburn gambles all his money away and now has to make a deal. So they bring in the extra heavy ringer, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Mobsters, depression.
Yeah, stuff. You see, I thought you were on about this film it was titled differently in the UK.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, no, it was actually titled The Street Fighter.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
So I was thinking, oh yeah, I know the one he's on about, and the reason I know that is because it's titled The Street Fighter, but the images, if you look it up, gives you hard times. It was like part of the tagline or something for the movie.
Yep.
But damn, no.
So it's a bit of a different role for him, and it kind of like Charles Bronson took it, but it just kind of like instead of shooting people, we're punching people, and kind of an interesting situation going on. So I really recommend Hard Times. It's not my favorite. I think Kev probably has guessed my number one, but I'm going to see.
I might have. I don't want to speculate.
Go through your number two first before you can guess my number one.
Yes. Right. My number two, folks, is Breakheart Pass. And now, never mind everything that you've already said about this. Do you want to know the main reason I love this movie?
Why is that?
I read the book first. I've actually got a OG first edition paperback print of Alistair MacLean's Breakheart Pass. And not only did he come up with the story for it, he wrote the screenplay and the script as well, if I remember correctly. And when you have an author who actually has that level of involvement in the movie that they're making, it just brings the page to life that little bit more. So we've already discussed the movie in and of itself, but to my mind, it was one of the first, shall we say, quality book adaptions that I saw, and having read the book first, when I saw that on late night TV or on one of the 3 channels that were available at the time, I just went, hang on, hang on, wow, yes, they've got that bit. Oh, they've got that bit. That's there. So, and like you say, all the way through to the end, you're sitting there, you're watching it, and you're going, but did he do that? Is she doing what? Why is that person there going? And the whole time you're like, till the very end, where the obvious end of the movie, where you actually find out what's what.
Right. But kind of dangling it in a good way, so it doesn't have a lot of loose threads. Just kind of like keeping you trying to guess what's happening versus just like a Deathwish 3 where he's machine gunning everyone.
Yeah, spoon feeding you plot points as and when you need them. You need to pay attention to it in certain bits. I mean, like I say, there's still a bit of action in there if you like a bit of action, but it was more cerebral than a lot of the roles he's been given. But you can't argue with a man for getting a paycheck. And 174 credits to his name? Yeah.
And yes, that leads to my number one. Have you really guessed it? I'll give you a hint. Certain Asian actors, I believe, first foray into Western cinema.
Oh, shit.
Red,
yeah, fucking no, I'm trying to remember. It wasn't not Red Sun, was it? Was it Canto? No, Canto's? No, not Canto's Island or whatever it was. Come on. Spill the beans.
It's Red Sun. It's Toshiro.
I was Red Sun.
Toshiro Mifune and Charles Bronson in a Western movie, like a samurai show. Like the opening in the movie is basically the Japanese ambassador is on his way to give a gift to the American president, and they're traveling by train. The train is robbed by a gang led by, I can't remember who the other character is, but based by Charles Bronson's gang. But he's betrayed by his own side and left at the side of the station, penniless and with Mifune. And so the Japanese ambassador gives Toshiro Mifune as the head and surviving bodyguard because they're all carrying freaking swords. He has 3 or 4 days to get the sword they stole from the ambassador back, or Mifune has to kill himself, Kiri style. And he teams up with Charles Bronson, and the two of them have this wild, zany adventure of getting revenge and getting that sword back in time. And you get to have like the out of the box Shanghai Night story, where with the Japanese Toshiro Mifune samurai trying to teach this cowboy all about
Bushido.
It's a great little story, and it's amazing that it came out in the early 70s. And it's my favorite.
And if I remember correctly, wasn't Ursula Andrews in that as well?
Yes, I believe she's one of the ladies of ill repute.
No, they're not ladies of ill repute. That implies nastiness. They are ladies of negotiable virtue.
Yes.
As Terry Pratchett describes them.
Hey, there's Lewis.
Yo, what's up, Lewis in the house? How's it going, man? But that is a good pick. That is a good pick for your number one, mate.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, see, I was thinking that, but then I thought, he's not gone for that one. To be honest with you, I was thinking you probably gone for, oh Christ, where was it? Which I've written it down, so I'm just, I like to do this little guessing game with you.
Yeah, that's great.
I do, because you do come out with a couple, and sorry.
So by the way, people, if you're first time watching this, we do this top 5, and we don't know what the other guy's chosen. So sometimes we get the same movies, and sometimes we don't, and it really is interesting to see what other people's opinions on things are.
Yes, and also with this, we pick the actor, and then we say the biggest movie that they've had, the one that they're best known for, is null and void. You cannot pick those movies.
Right.
So we've done Rutger Hauer.
Yep.
Not allowed to pick Blade Runner.
Yep.
Christopher Lambert. Not allowed to pick Highlander. Bronson. Not allowed to pick Death Wishes. Right. So yes. Damn, I can't find the bloody notes. I've got like 3 notebooks here at the moment.
Okay.
Well,
what were your number one?
The Dirty Dozen.
Ah, yes.
I remember seeing that, and again, there is a reason for this as well. I have OG paperback printing of that, and the whole book, it's like 500 pages long or something.
Oh, wow.
450 odd pages is literally the boot camp and the training.
Yeah.
The only things they mention about the actual mission itself is from a couple of survivors' debriefings, and that's it. And they just go, "Oh yeah, I think that happened. I think so and so did this," and that's it. Whereas the movie, obviously, it's basically half training and half mission.
Yeah.
So, loved the book. Really, really, really loved the book. But it was one of those ones where you're like, okay, I get what reason they've done this as a story, as a book, and it leaves you going, oh, wow, because it fuels your imagination. But then actually watching the movie, I felt like half of the stuff that I thought in my head had happened, which they didn't go into, because like I say, it was only 1 or 2 survivors, and it was kind of like their after action debrief, and they're like, well, we don't know what Joe Bloggs did, but he was supposed to be over this. He was supposed to be over at this end of the mansion, and then we heard machine gun fire, and that's all we know about that bit, or just that's all the details they give in the book.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie, it felt like it was a lot more of what I pictured in my head the way it kind of went down. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I was watching the movie and I went, I thought something like that might have happened. You know, I had the feeling that was going to happen. You know, something along those lines. So, you know, you get what I mean? So it kind of justified my imagination, because I love a good book which leaves it, I wouldn't say on a cliffhanger, but it leaves it in a realistic perspective. As in, well, the guy who's telling the story doesn't know all the answers because he's not omnipresent. You know, he's not omnipotent. He doesn't know everything. But at the same time, I was like, boy, I'd really like to read more about what these, you know, what some of the characters got up to.
Yeah.
And the movie kind of showed me, you know, extrapolate. You know, obviously, like I say, it took from the book and then it went on. It kind of brought to my, you know, it brought stuff that my imagination had been thinking, you know, stuff that I'd imagined, and it put it on the screen, and left me kind of going, okay, yeah. I kind of thought that's kind of the way I wanted it to go. So, and it's not a Bronson movie. You know, you got Yul Brynner, you know, you got all the rest of them. You know, I mean, for God's sake, if you just go through the cast of the Dirty Dozen, you got Lee Marvin, you know, Bronson, Jim Brown, you got George Kennedy. You know, I'm just skipping through some of them. Telly Savalas, you know, Donald Sutherland, for God's sakes.
Right.
You know, it is a proper 5-star cast.
Yeah.
So, but it was, like I say, it was one of those, again, you may have noticed my top two, Breakheart Pass and Dirty Dozen, are ones that I'd read the books for first. Because I felt they stayed true to the source material and yet improved on it, if you get what I mean, you know? So, I just remember seeing that the first time I was watching that, just going, okay, yeah, they've got the training rocks, the way this is all going, it rocks. Okay, that wasn't in the book. Hello, that's kind of, yeah, oh, right, damn, shit. Yep. Excuse my language. And, you know, so it left an impact on me because I'd seen the, you know, like I say, I'd visualized it in my head, and then to see what I'd visualized, not all of it, but, you know, because apparently there was no dancing nuns in fishnets in the actual movie, but, you know, they were in my mind, but, I think I'd had something to drink when that bit happened in the book. It, you know, it just sold me on it. It just sold me on it. I was like, damn, yeah, okay. This is somebody who's understood the book, got the book, and not just taken the name of it and, you know, spun it off into whatever.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's so nice to see that when it happened back in the day. And then you watch movies today and you're like, what are you doing with the source material?
Oh, come on. Let's be honest here. Stephen King's Dark Tower. What the hell was that movie all about? Love Idris Elba.
Finally getting something out so they can keep the rights.
Yeah, love Idris Elba. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, yes. I have the entire Gunslinger series, including the novel, the novella Through the Wind Through the Keyhole or whatever it was. I watched the Gunslinger movie once, and I sat there the whole time going,
yeah,
what? Nope, nothing like this.
Yeah, so some of the movies we didn't get to.
Some honorable mentions.
I like Assassination. That's like the last movie he gets to do with his wife. Assassination is basically he's a Secret Service agent, and his real life wife is playing the wife of the president, and there's a team like trying to kill him or trying to kill her, and you find out what's going on. But it's kind of like a nice. I love the banter, especially since he's despite the fact he's supposed to be protecting the first lady, he's also sleeping with one of his colleagues, who's this very young Asian woman, and she's like so jealous of him hanging out with the first lady. It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
and that was just on set. Wait until she found out on the first day of filming, off set, he's actually married to her.
Yeah. Another one. It's a made-for-TV movie. I don't think many people have ever seen it. It's called The Seawolf.
Oh, The Seawolf. Yeah, because he done like a few made-for-TVs in his later career, didn't he?
Yeah.
He started off in TV, did lots of movies, and then went back to TV at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his final shows were those Family of Cops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Family of Cops 1, 2, and 3. Wasn't it? There was 3 of them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and Family of Cops is basically was that show with Magnum PI, Tom Selleck there.
Yeah.
Blue Shield or whatever it is.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch. My mother loved it. Anyway, but yeah, the movie I was talking about, The Seawolf, is him and Christopher Reeves of Superman fame.
Superman fame. And
they come on, and Christopher Reeves plays this guy who's washed up on shipwrecked, and the Seawolf comes by. It's the ship captained by Charles Bronson. He brings him on board and puts him to work as a hand. And eventually they kind of like move up the chain. But there's also this Charles Bronson is a whaler who's obsessed with the ship run by his brother. And they're bound to have a clash together. So it's a little bit of a revenge story.
Damn. So I'm just looking it up now. Catherine Mary Stewart, Mark Singer. Really? Mark Singer from Beastmaster.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's all right. I love the Beastmasters.
Yeah.
Was it Kodo and Podo? His 2 ferrets. Yeah, was it Kodo and Podo? His 2 ferrets.
Yep.
I am Dahl, the Beastmaster. Not a knockoff of Conan, who talks to animals. But no, that's a good one. I haven't seen that, I'll be honest with you, but I'm liking the cast. Mm-hmm. That's another one to add to the list.
And my final honorable mention is You Can't Win Them All.
See, that wasn't written by an orc, because we can.
Yeah. So You Can't Win Them All. He co-stars with Tony Curtis, and it's set during the Greek invasion of Turkey. And the 2 of them are basically adventurers, and they kind of team up. Charles Bronson has a whole bunch of guys armed with like Tommy guns and bullets to match, and they put themselves in search. One of the local, a governor working for the Turkish Sultan, and then there's all this crazy stuff happening with the Greeks, and it's like the only Greek Civil War movie I've ever seen, and it's just kind of an interesting adventure yarn where people are like, who's betraying who has the treasure, who has the girl, what's really going on here, and eventually, It's a fun little adventurous romp, and I put Capo Blanco as my 5 because I think it's a better adventure romp than this one, but this is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, with him they are few and far between. Let's be honest here, unfortunately. Yeah, because I think if you watch the way he portrays himself on screen and stuff like that, I think he was actually a better actor than people will ever give him credit for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but because again, like we said at the beginning of the show, typecasting, he ended up getting. You're not going to knock. Do what you got to do. Get your paycheck. Get that money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can have fun with it as well, great. But I think he had more range. But like we said at the beginning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's Love and Bullets. I watched that one. It's not quite as good, but it has this great. It's basically there's this Italian mobsters are trying to kill once again Jill Ireland, who's playing this completely blonde ditzy woman. And
how did she ever get the role?
I know, but she's in this thing, and they're doing all sorts of the scenes with the mobsters, and like the head mobster has a stutter, and he's just like. And just it works so well. It's just so the stuff that happens, and they get exactly what's coming to them in the end. But it was just like a lot of it's a kind of fun movie, but I just didn't want it couldn't make my top 5.
Yeah.
I watched Chino, which is one. It's kind of it's a nice adventurous Western movie. Like it has an unexpected ending. I guess it had a kind of realistic ending, but it was okay. And another movie I can't remember the name of, but I remember seeing it as a kid. Basically, Charles Bronson is like a cow, like part of a gang that robs like a stagecoach, and he ends up once again finding he's left with by some of his gangster buddies to fool around with Jill Ireland, who's a lonely widow, and then eventually what happens is he's captured but not hung like all the rest of the gangsters. And the widow's like, well, writes a book about the whole thing, and it comes later, like the entire town becomes like a theme for this. And she never thinks Charles Bronson's going to show up again. And he does later, and it just turns into a huge mess.
Oh shit! I should have watched that one. Sorry, I just realized. I've just not found. You said you couldn't remember the name of that film. I thought I'd have a quick have a look for it.
Yep.
I completely forgot about this one. I haven't seen this one. Mm-hmm. This was one that was actually on my list to try and watch, but unfortunately, real life gets in the way and all that shit.
Yeah.
Fall for Texas. Fall for Texas with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin.
Oh yeah, I did want to see
and
that
Ursula
one.
Andrews.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Damn it! I wish I'd had time to watch that one now.
Another one that I was intending to play is Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. If I find some way of watching, obviously perfectly legal, of course. We do not condone any form of nefarious ne'er-do-wells here. All my pillaging and stuff is purely legal. It's all economy driven. Mm-hmm. If I find a way to get Fall for Texas, I will point you in the right direction. Shall we say?
Yep.
But I didn't realize it. I would have actually, because Frank Sinatra's a legend. Dean Martin's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Two great net legends. And then, again, Ursula Andrews. Damn. Oh, I missed the trick with that one. Oh, hello. And computer problems. Hello. Yep, I'm back. Sorry. Yep. My goddamn router has a habit of deciding to update itself and restart at really inconvenient times at the moment. It's done that 5 minutes before a stream before. I'm like, and then had to reboot.
Yeah, and someone behind the door or something I wanted to see. I watched Cold Sweat.
Yeah, was that any? Yeah, because I haven't seen that. Like I say,
and I watched Chino, and it's just some other ones.
Yeah,
Breakout was just kind of forgettable.
Yeah, generic.
Yeah, and St. Ives was one I wanted to watch. That looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, where he plays Raymond. I was just funny enough looking at that as well. Mm. He's a crime novelist in that one. Sorry. Who's hired by? This is just the IMDb quick storyline. Mm-hmm. Top Los Angeles burglar finds that someone stole his plans for his next ambitious heist. He hires Raymond St. Ives, crime book writer, to negotiate the return of those documents. You're a top thief. Surely you just go nick them back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of. I saw some of the trailer. It looked pretty good. So
yeah,
and it looked like a whole Jackie Brown style movie, which I really love. So that's my favorite Tarantino movie.
I have to be honest, Tarantino, I can take him or leave him. Some of his stuff is great, but some of it you're just like, again with this. Do something a bit different with your style. I mean, yes, it's your style, but so what's his name? Guy Ritchie. A lot of his movies. Well, if you've seen Lock, Stock,
yeah,
you know the way he does it. Lock, Stock, Snatch. He even done that in that King Arthur movie.
I didn't watch that one.
It wasn't as bad as people made out. It was entertaining. It's an entertaining bit of fun. If it's on, your Amazonians or your Netflixes or whatever, then it's worth a gander. It's a bit of fun. Jude Law's good in it. It's got Eric Banner in it, if I remember correctly, as well. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. But there are some stories I could tell you about that film. But no, that was worth. But Guy Ritchie, same sort of, like I say, it's same as Tarantino. He kind of, yes, you want that visualization, that directors, but you want him to play with it a little bit more. If you get my meaning, try and do something a little bit more shocking. It's like when Tarantino first came on the scene. Everybody was shocked by the way he directed. Everyone was like, "Whoa, you can't do this in a movie."
Yep.
And then by his fourth movie, people are like, "Oh, he's doing this again in his movies."
Yep. Well, he's only has like 8 of them, and he's only going to allow him to make like 10 or 12 or something like that. I think.
Well, yeah. Well, originally he said he was going to stop at 7, I think. But I mean, Tarantino's Tarantino. He does his own thing.
Yep.
With his foot fetish. But no. Oh.
Now I guess we have to think of our next movie to start to look at.
Oh. Interesting. You got any ideas? Any thoughts that you'd had floating in the back of your mind already?
Well, one person came to my mind.
It's your show.
I do have one person who comes to mind that I wouldn't mind seeing some movies over the next 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
A certain other person has a name who begins with C.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
What about Chuck Norris?
Oh!
Research into Mr. Norris's career.
Oh, dude. Oh. Now, in all fairness, most Chuck Norris movies I haven't seen in 20 plus years.
Same here.
Oh, and by the way, we're not going to count the Walker Texas Ranger TV show.
We definitely wouldn't count that. No. What would be? We'd have to think. What is the movie we have to say you can't use?
I was thinking. Oh, hold on. There, if I could spell his name right. Initially, right. The second you said it, initially I was thinking Delta Force.
Right. That's
but
a good.
I'm not sure if that's. But I'm not sure if that would
be action. So it's either got to be Delta Force or Missing in Action.
Ooh. Tell you what. I can solve this problem right now. I have a coin here.
Yep.
Heads, Delta Force. Tail, Missing in Action. Yeah?
Yep.
So I'm going to flip the coin now. Heads. So no Delta Force.
Okay. That's fine. I feel confident.
Ooh. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. See, the best part of this is we get to spend the next 2 weeks watching obscure Chuck Norris movies.
Oh,
that's a real joy for us.
oh, come on! Some of the best fucking OTT silly shit that is ever going to happen. Mm-hmm. Although I'm going to say right now, I'm going to count out. Oh God, what was that insufferable movie he did with the kid who was in StarQuest, Sequest DSV?
Oh, I have no idea. That sounds very much later.
Yeah, that was one of his. That was his 90s, I think. Was that this one? Was that this one? No, I'm not sure. No, but he did one insufferable one, which but but no. Oh no, sorry, no. Sidekicks was the one he did with the kid from DSV.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not a movie I was intending to watch.
No. That one I'm not going to be bringing into my top 5 either.
Yeah.
That's not even going to make my honourable mentions.
Yeah.
Oh, but sweet. Okay, so 2 weeks today.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob, if you're watching on the replay, you suck. Where the hell were you?
Okay. Thanks for coming out, guys.
All right, everybody, before we go, please, everybody watching on the replay, like this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to The Spy Guy, because this dude is the ledge, David. You might hear people on various other channels mentioning him. He is the ledge.
Okay.
And he deserves all your support because he helps so many of your favorite content creators out. Just show him some love and appreciation as well, please.
Okay, thanks, guys, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Letters.